bienvenido a un nuevo vídeo. Vamos a reaccionar al directo de Fall Guys, del creativo, lo van a enseñar. Vamos al lío. Vale. Vale, sí, el creativo. ¿Por qué no se ve ya esto? Ah, vale. No. Estoy nervioso, perdón. Ojo, Está subtitulado en español. Sí. Mira eso, Ojo.
Hello and welcome here to the Fall Guys HQ. I'm Leah Alexandra and today we're getting
Buena,
into
Leah.
all things creative because, drumroll please,
Ojo.
Fall Guys Creative is launching on the 10th of May.
Vale, pues sale el 10 de mayo.
With the
100%
launch
ya.
just around the corner,
Así
we thought
es,
today
digo.
we'd dig into all the juicy details about the latest update. But that's not all. We've got some exclusive
Avance exclusivo,
teasers.
vale.
That's right. We have so much exciting stuff planned for 2023 and beyond, and today we're going to take a sneak peek and meet the people who are making it happen. So,
Vale.
let's get
Bastante
into
guapa
it.
la chica,
And where better to start than with
Toma
a
ya.
quick chat with Creative Director Joe Wolf.
Ojo, Joe. Vamos, Joe. Vamos, Joe. Enséñame cositas.
Hello, Joe, and welcome to the beautiful Fall Guys HQ library. Now, you are here to talk about creative, but before we do that, we've got a few questions about the direction the game has been going. So, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's been a long time in development, the new season update, and I think we want to mention that that's something that's going to continue over the course of the year. We're looking to make some big changes to Fall Guys, and that means that seasons are going to get slightly longer to give us the time to kind of make these big changes. But there's going to be big additions happening during the season as well, so you're not going to get those long droughts of content that we've maybe had in the past.
Ya no tendremos largos periodos sin
Worth
contenido
talking
nuevo.
about vaulting as well.
Parece
It's always
verdad.
a hot
La
topic in
bóveda.
our community.
Un tema
That's
candente,
something
eso
that's
es
going to
real.
continue as we go into the new season. Old rounds are coming back, some of them are going into the vault, but it's worth mentioning that these things are like really paying dividends for the dev team. It's allowing us to really focus on the launch of the new season of Creative, which is, a big change to the game.
Vale.
So, creative sounds like no small task. It must have been pretty difficult to implement such a huge part of the game. So, I mean, how was that for you?
Yeah, it's been the single biggest change that we've ever made to the game, and it's really exciting to finally give players like the keys to the kingdom.
Las llaves del
Like,
reino.
we're finally going to see the types of rounds that people want to make, like crazy ideas that we could have never thought of as developers. And this is kind of only the start of it as well. Like the creative that we launched with Season 4 is just the beginning. We're going to be adding new obstacles, new round types, new
Vale,
themes
nuevo
to Creative
obstáculo y
as well.
tal. Lo irán añadiendo,
It's
o
all
sea que
going
no van a
to keep
estar todo.
growing as we continue
Seguramente.
to support Fall Guys over the
Puede
next few
ser.
years.
So it really sounds like a cycle can develop. The players inspire the devs, devs inspire the players, and you all come up with something really interesting and unique together. But I mean, how is that going to shape the future of Fall Guys, do you think?
Yeah, so one of the main changes is that from now on, the dev team at Mediasonic are going to be using the creative tools to build levels for the game exclusively.
Los
That means that we
desarrolladores
can launch
irán
more
usarán
content than we ever had
únicamente el modo
before. With the
creativo
launch of Season 4, we're going to
para
be
crear los
dropping
niveles de Fall Guys ahora.
over 50 rounds
Eso está
throughout the
bomba,
course of the season, which is
Pues
way
si será
more
que
than
tiene
we've
que estar
ever
bien hecho
managed
con
before.
huevo.
Another thing which is also really helpful is that for the first time we can start tweaking the levels over the air, so we
Vamos a
won't
tocar
need
los
to
niveles
push updates
directamente.
live to
Si
fix
tienes que
bugs,
implementar
which is,
actualizaciones.
again, like a big problem we've always had
Ojo,
with the game.
eso está
So
bien
all of
también.
these things
Yo
are
creo que
just
sea
going
que
to
el
make
juego sea
the
más,
content so
o
much
sea, que haga
richer
las
and so
cosas
much
más
more
dinámicas
varied
mejor.
from this point forwards, really.
And not to understate it, because that is really, really cool. The players are going to be using the same tools that the devs are using and, getting a little taste of that game development process as well, which is really fun. Now, if I was to go and build a round myself, how would I share it?
Yeah, so once you've completed your round and you've proved that it's possible, you'll get a share code, and you can then share that code with your friends.
código para
and
compartir,
you
eso
can
es bomba.
fire that up in custom lobby with your friends or on your own if you
Eso
just
es
want to
bomba,
play other
la
people's
verdad.
rounds solo. That's totally fine as well. We're going to be kind of curating the best rounds that are trending as well. And so
Hará una
each week we're
selección.
going to be trying to put live a sideshow of all the best content from the community.
Un show
you
cada
might even get
semana
your round into main show.
con rondas de
We're
la
also going to be
gente.
adding and improving the discoverability
Eso
stuff,
bomba
so hopefully
también,
in the
¿eh?
future it will just get even easier for you to find
Ojo,
the types of rounds that you
ojo.
want to play.
Very cool. Another work in progress. It just keeps getting better.
Cada vez pinta mejor, sí.
Amazing. So you mentioned themes earlier.
Temática.
each season does seem to have its own very
Vale,
specific theme.
temática,
Is this the
Pasaré igual con esta.
Season 4 is launching with
Temática
digital
digital.
theme. It's sort of a pastel-y,
Que ya dan el vapor web con
vaporwave
mucho color
inspired theme.
pastel.
And this theme is launching with a bunch of really cool retro digital costumes.
Ojo,
And a new obstacle called the Boom Blaster as well, which is sort of a
¿Eso qué
hybrid
es?
between a punch glove and one of the
Altavoz
lily pads as
sónico.
well. So something new for people to play
¡Qué
with.
guapo!
All of this stuff is going into Creative on day one for you to
Ojo,
start making
ojo.
levels with.
Luego analizaremos eso,
Sounds like it's going to be fun and absolutely infuriating. So I cannot
Ojo.
wait to get hands on with that and build with it as well from day one, which is very exciting. Are there any other little changes in the season we can get a sneak peek
Ojo.
of?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch more stuff. The show selector is getting like a fresh coat of paint.
Mira,
so
mira, mira, mira.
you'll be able to now have
Menú,
way more
menú.
stuff live through the show selector.
Pixel
kind of
Health,
creative
direct-
rounds, other stuff.
Eh,
Also,
bomba, eh.
body blocking is something that we know the community have wanted improvements to for a long time. So
Tiene
we've taken a look at the code there and we're kind of changing the way you jostle
¿Cómo te
and
chocas
bump
contra
against other
jugadores?
players. So it
Van a
should feel
cambiar el
more
body block, ¿eh?
fluid and more fun and more satisfying.
Para que sea más fluido y divertido.
Finally, we're going to be changing the way season passes
Van a cambiar el
work.
funcionamiento de
Season
los
passes are
pases.
going away and we're replacing them with a shorter fame pass.
Pases de estrella que
So you're
son
going to
más
have
cortos.
multiple fame passes
En cada
each
temporada
season.
habrá varios.
These fame passes are going to be shorter, more
Ojo,
bite-sized,
esto mola
40
también.
tiers to each one. And
40
they're
días
going to
cada
cost
uno costaba
600
600
showbucks, so they're gonna be
rubiones.
cheaper.
Claro,
This is going to
será
allow
más
players to
barato, pero
kind of
habrá
feel good
más.
about completing those things in a more bite-sized way, which kind
Eso
of
mola porque
matches the way
significa que
people
siempre
tend
va a
to play
tener una,
Fall Guys.
algo
But
por lo
they're
que
still going to be
jugar.
full of amazing costumes, our own costumes, kind of collaboration costumes as well. So yeah,
Dios,
really
estoy
excited to
emocionado,
launch
¿eh?
that with
Me
season
siento
4.
como cuando salió
Thank you so
gratis, no
much,
sé por
Jared. I
qué.
cannot wait to dive in. And
Buah,
we
qué
actually
locura,
have a
¿eh?
sneak peek of the first
Vale,
game
avance de
house
primer
right
pase,
now. Check it
locura.
out.
Lo que han dicho, que se me ha ido de la cabeza ya. Lo que han dicho es que van a cambiar el body, ¿eh? El body block. Mira eso. Con los pájaros ahora. Ahora es del Minecraft la temporada. Vamos, Minecraft. Colaboración con Minecraft, ¿eh? Qué guapo, ¿eh? Mira este, ¿eh? Me mola este ordenador antiguo. La paloma, pero normal, este como... Y es como retro y digital, la vi. Épico, ¿eh? Épico, vale. Ahora jamás nos cuentan lo del body y es
What did
bomba,
I
¿eh?
tell you? We've only just
Es muy
started the
bomba.
show, and already we know that next season your Fall Guys will step into the digital realm. Creators will be able to work with the same tools.
Eso es bomba
as the
también, ¿eh?
development team.
Que los creadores
We're
puedan usar la
dropping
estas dos
new
desarrolladores.
rounds throughout the
Y que
season.
saldrán 50 nuevas rondas. Salen.
You want
El día
more?
10.
Fine.
¿Queréis más?
Today's reveal is about giving you a full exploration
claro, nos
of
van a enseñar
Creative.
Creativo.
So let's do just
Vamos a
that
pasar
and
al
jump
estudio
on over
Mediatonic.
to the
Vamos, vamos,
Mediatonic
vamos.
studio,
Nos van a
where
enseñar,
the
nos van a
team
enseñar, nos
there
van a
are going to
enseñar.
walk us
Sí, sí,
through
sí.
how you go about creating
¿Cómo
a
crear una
new
nueva?
round.
Nos van a enseñar gameplay, ¿eh?
Hi everyone,
50
I'm
niveles,
Adina,
And I'm
guapo.
Max.
and today we're going to show you Creative and build a round together.
Yeah,
Vale.
so let's just get
Esto es lo que,
right
no,
into it.
lo que yo me
So
esperaba.
from the get-go, we have the new
La nueva
creative
pestaña
tab
del modo
where
creativo.
you can
Está ahí en
create
medio,
new
arriba, ¿la
rounds
veis?
and load
Vale.
previous rounds, but we're going to start a new round.
Yeah,
so we're going to
let's
go
go.
straight
Qué
into
guapo,
that.
nos van a
From the
enseñar
beginning, you can
gameplay.
immediately
Es
see it's
bomba,
going to
tío.
ask you what mode you want to make. For now, we're just going to build a race.
Por ahora
There will be more
cada
coming
más adelante habrá animaciones,
eventually,
pero de
but for now,
momento
we're just going to
vamos
build
con
a
esa.
race
Supongo
and
que el día
some of
10
the
habrá más.
theming, so you can change the sort of
La temática de la
theme of your
carrera,
race or
retro o
other modes as
normal.
we bring them in. So we're going to go for original.
Just a bit of a disclaimer here.
A ver.
Remember that this is a dev build
Vale.
and there could be some slight changes on
Entiendo.
release.
From the get-go, you're going to be greeted
Nada más
with a
entrar en una
whole
nueva
new
interfaz.
UI that you're probably not used to seeing when playing
Claro.
Fall Guys. First thing you're going to want to acknowledge is that in the top left there's a checklist. So you're going to need a start line and a finish line for a race.
Y de
You'll
llegada,
also see
¿ok?
that you can move the cursor around with the left stick.
Vale, esto yo tendré que
and
adaptarme.
obviously rotate
Pero
it
bueno,
with the right
es
stick.
lo de menos.
And we've got our start line here to get us started. A few things that when you're going to start building this round out is we've got our objects list when you press
Ojo.
right on the D-pad. Immediately you're greeted with a whole bunch of icons that might not
veo
immediately
objetos que
make
antes no había
sense,
visto
so let's
yo,
walk
¿eh?
through it a little.
Ahí,
Let's go.
So we have our platforms tab, which is just our static geometry,
piezas geométricas.
blocks and barriers, which
La de bloque
are
barras
good
de
little
pequeñas
static bits
piezas.
of geometry that
Que no
aren't
son,
quite
claro, son
floors
más
and walls,
decoración.
but rather small little
Claro,
obstacles
pequeños
you can place.
obstáculos, ¿vale?
We have our moving surfaces. We have
Movibles.
obstacles, which you'll all know and recognize.
Obstáculos
things like
construidos con los
pendulums
cañones ya
and our
conocéis.
cannons.
No veo los
And our
saltadores,
little bits
¿eh?
of decoration, which
No he
sort
visto
of add a little bit of
los-
flavor to your rounds.
No he visto los de estos,
You can
¿eh?
use sort of and place them at the
Los de
end to
bota.
kind of give you around a bit of depth.
Cuando
You
no
can
sale, no lo he
see
visto, ¿eh?
across all of the objects that you can place that
nervioso.
there is a number attached to them. That affects your budget in the top right.
Vale, tiene un
Once you reach the end
presupuesto.
of that budget, you're not allowed to build anything else.
Esto es
For
una
that
mierda,
reason, it's
porque-
good to build the bare bones out of your round. get the basic gameplay concepts, and then add layers on top of that from there. In terms of your controls, you've got access to kind of going up and down, moving around with the stick, as said, and you can zoom in and out for those finer details. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's dive in.
First things first, we should probably figure out how many players we want our round to be, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to go into changing our settings here. And
I think we should go for a medium.
You think medium?
Round, yeah.
So you don't want to build a small starting line and then an incredibly wide level. So we've got our medium starting line.
Yep.
So, Edie, I think you've got an idea of where we're going from here, right?
Yeah, I wanted to play with the DoorDash.
Okay, sure. Let's get some DoorDash doors in here.
Yeah.
3's looking a little small.
Yeah, make it 5.
Again, on each of our objects, you can change the properties of each object.
Puedes cambiar las propiedades de todos los
objects have
objetos.
different properties.
Vale, no son tal cual los ves. O sea, vas tocando cositas, el color y otro valor. Entiendo, eso es increíble, está
How many
bien.
of them will actually be open or closed? What do you want to do with this?
You're going to rotate them horizontally.
Las puedes rotar como quieras, como te salga del rabo,
This will snap. You have snap properties.
Oh, vale, eso está guapo, pa.
Which does make life easier. When you've not got anything selected, you can go to your tools and you can select snapping. So you can do camera snapping and object snapping. And then we're going to snap our DoorDash doors.
Y lo pegas, qué guay.
Which is great.
Now I think you're going to take all of that and make another level of it.
Okay, cool. So we're going to go into our tools again. We're going to go to multi-select. This allows us to create a paintbrush and select the objects we want to copy. Copy those, bring them
Está
down.
increíble, vale. Estoy viendo que tiene muchas herramientas.
Try and line that up.
Lógica
So if
y
it doesn't
mola,
line up, that's fine. You can just keep moving it around till you feel it meets your
Qué locura.
perfect creation.
Should we test that a little bit?
Yeah, let's give it a little test. So we can come on in, you can press the button on the controller that stays at the top, and you can just dive in. And
Literally
it will,
at any time of the process.
It will put you where you select your cursor, so you can test
Claro, y eso es
anywhere in the
aleatorio.
round. So we can see that that works. Copy this, do the same thing.
Yeah, third row of it. And that's what's really fun also with Creative is you can use any obstacles and just rotate them, try to experiment with them.
Do things that we would not normally done in our previous rounds.
Exactly.
A ver cuánto lleva de barrita.
Copy some more platform, and I think this is
Yo,
a good
lleva
place
200.
to get a little checkpoint in.
Lleva
which is
200,
in the platform
Y
section.
no ha hecho nada.
Similarly with everything else, you'll see that it comes in a little too big for the level we're making. That's fine. We'll just bring this out, change the settings, make it a little smaller to meet
Veo
what
fallo
we're
ahí,
doing.
Perfect.
And
Lleva
snap.
183.
Now, I've got an idea for this
Y no ha
section.
hecho
I'm
nada.
thinking we get 2 slime platforms on either side with a conveyor coming
Ojo ahí,
against us and some little bollards to make it a bit sneaky.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we're going to just make that quite thin, drag
Vale.
that out. As you can see, we're just grabbing objects from the object pool, copying them, making them to the perfect size, and just getting them in. So we're going to get our bollards.
Claro, ahí.
We're going to whack
Ahí se han
these
visto
in a
más
nice
objetos,
little sort of triangular formation. Just so if we get a bunch of players funneling in, it's a little difficult. And then we'll copy
pero
these.
ojo,
So with the paint tool, you don't have to hold
No,
it.
pero mira,
You
lleva
can just kind of
213 y ha puesto
drag things out
bastante.
as you
Claro,
want,
cuanto más
copy
grande el
that.
objeto,
You
pues
don't even have to
más te
redo all
ocupa.
that
Tiene
work.
sentido.
So we're now gonna select our final little boller because we just want one in the middle. There we go. We've immediately got our 2 parts. We're now gonna get our
conveyor.
Y no era más fácil hacer una nada más.
So we're
Y
gonna
después
set
copiarla.
this in the settings. Similarly, we get a lot of options here.
Ojo,
We're gonna set this to go to reverse.
Que
We're
vaya
gonna
al
have this at
revés,
normal speed,
velocidad
so I think
normal.
fast might
Cada
be a little
velocidad puedes cambiarla, eso
bit
está
too
guapo.
much.
Es
And
lo que ha
then we're
dicho,
gonna
que cada objeto
conjoin
tiene muchas
this with the
propiedades.
standard platform,
O sea,
really short
es increíble
section,
eso.
nice and sweet. Drag
Porque,
this out, and
te
then
da
because
más
I'm
opción.
feeling just a little bit fiendish.
Ya voy a escuchar que poco a poco ya me lleno más
Now
objetos.
hammers,
Entonces, lo que no
similarly,
es
you
tiempo,
might
lo
see
ya me
sometimes they're
lleno.
like in this position in previous rounds. This time we're going to have them sideways. So you can use the same object in a different way to achieve the same goal. So I'm going to put that one there.
Qué guapo,
I'm going to put this one
Por ahora me
here,
está molando
and
mucho,
rotate
tengo
it
muchas
around.
ganas.
Now
Me
something you
está
can do, if
muchísimo
we
hype
go into
esto,
play here, you'll see that they kind
Pero
of go at the
demasiado,
same time. And if that's what you want, that's great. But if you want something a little more chaotic, you can just put a little delay on them.
Perfect.
And then I'm thinking you get a
Delay.
checkpoint in there.
Yeah, a little checkpoint after that section would be perfect.
Do the same thing.
Como
Actually,
delay.
just copy this one. Because you know what? It saves time.
And exact same size as we need as well, so perfect.
So now that we've got this this checkpoint, and I did the previous section, what are you thinking we should do next?
toca a
Yeah, so
ella.
I was thinking that we could add a little bit of verticality again to the level because we went down. Let's go back up a
yeah,
little.
yeah, no,
What do you think?
I feel that. I can feel it. Yeah,
Cool.
let's do that. And this is what's great about
Ojo,
creative.
lleva
If you and your
300,
friends
o
just
sea,
want to get
es
together,
lo que digo, va a
kind
ser
of
poco,
bounce
pero para
ideas off each
empezar,
other and just create
bueno,
something on the
no está
fly.
mal.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Let's put a little drum on
Okay,
each
yeah,
of the path, adding a
Eh.
little lily because
A little Lilliput's inspiration.
Yeah, a little Lilliput's inspiration.
Sí están.
Now, the drums are a bit tall.
Sí están los brincos.
Do you need the ramps?
Pero la cambia la forma.
As I said, like every object is customizable, so we kind of need the height here, so we're going to need to change the settings. We're going to need a larger slope, let's make it a bit shorter, and then change the color.
Yeah, to make it different as well.
Rampitas diferentes.
Let's get that in there, extend this out.
Qué locura,
There we go.
No sé si Rafa lo está viendo. Qué locura.
Now, after the drums, you can put little blocks, you know, to have a little platform to
cambiado la textura,
para,
porque claro, como no es de selva, qué barbarie. Te echemos
Yeah, exactly what I had in mind.
Me acaba de motivar que sí esté en los brincos.
Awesome.
I'm glad I'm reading your mind.
Qué locura.
So what do you think?
Estará para todas las
I want to make
plataformas.
them different, you know, like two different
Okay,
challenges.
Sí, Rafa.
I was thinking for the left one, we could go with this fan,
Yeah,
over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get these fans in. You can see that when I try and place the object, it goes red. This is because the object itself is probably going to collide with the other object.
No puedes
Can
ponerlo
you change
pegado.
their settings?
Yeah, change the settings, yeah.
Anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
Normal as well. Give it a
Ese
little bit of
lío.
a delay, maybe. Yeah.
El
And this
retraso.
one clockwise
But
and fast.
Yeah, with a little more.
Qué rápido,
I know where
poco
you're
mola,
going with this.
Pensaba que
And
tenía
then
yo
what do you
también,
want
claro,
for-
pero
what do you think
claro,
of the
supongo que depende del
maybe
mapa,
we'll go with
de la
the-
temática que cree el mapa, pues
the
es de
rotating
la
beam.
textura u otra.
Yeah, the
Locura.
I'm already there. Same thing.
Esto es
as
una
this
mierda, lo vimos al
size. So
principio. Que
immediately
no puedes
we can go
colocar
in,
el palo
play
solo.
this, check
Lo
this
tienes que
out.
colocar
It's
con
always
una
worthwhile.
plataforma,
You're
ojo,
going to build a split path round.
Míralo
so
tú,
make sure
míralo.
that both sides
Qué
are
locura,
achievable.
qué
Would you look at
guapo,
this? I'm awful at these.
Qué barbarie,
Oh.
Well, you're doing great for someone who's awful at them.
And let's check the other side.
Locurita,
really good vibes here. I'm feeling
Me recuerda a
it's fine.
Benidorm, ¿viste?
We're all good.
Brilliant.
Now we need to
Lo
bring these
mismo.
in line, and I have
Vale,
the
lleva la
perfect
mitad,
idea. We just get some
La mitad de lo que puede poner.
And I love the little seesaws.
Y ya crea un nivel normalito, la verdad. Sí, la media de niveles que va a poder crear va a ser
Perfect.
como la de Fall Guys normal. O
And
sea,
get that
sí.
last one in.
No puede ser
Change
muy
the
largo.
colors, just, you know, give it a little bit of flavor. Lovely.
Loving this.
Porque esta
Yeah.
parte
And
mola
then
como van a
another
hacer, ¿no?
checkpoint.
Yeah, let's go.
Wonderful. And now I think we should do
esos
the
son
last
checkpoints.
dash
Para
to
el
the end of the
derecho.
level.
Wrap up the level.
La última
I have a
parte.
little idea where I want
Van
to
a
go
finir
there.
ya,
Let's
claro, no
have
les queda
some
mucho.
You're going to have a slime floor, aren't you?
slime
I
floor
knew
it.
and
and say that.
sliding down to
knew.
the end. Yes.
So we have a little long ramp. I think we
Can we
take
get a
this.
little
Lo va a bajar,
Yeah, a little
¿no?
longer.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to rotate this, give it a little
Claro,
slant.
va a ser para que te
And then we're going to
lance.
get a second
Copy it.
one.
Make
get
it steeper.
Make it
Locura,
steeper. Oh, and we'll get that
Llevan
in there
casi
as close as we
700.
can.
O sea,
Lovely.
es lo que
We
digo,
do that little
normal.
test.
O sea,
I love that we
mucho
can't
nivel.
see
Can't
the
see
second one.
Well, this just exudes chaotic vibes.
It
Let's keep this
Brilliant.
going.
I think you could add a little challenge to it.
Yeah?
And
Ojo,
put some
algún desafío.
pendulums over there.
Unos
And then I'm thinking
péndulos.
at the end of this, let's have
Claro, un
one
obstáculo.
right at the end.
Cheeky.
Very cheeky, just to kind of get that
Mola
right
que
before
ya que le
we
puedas
place
subir la
our
velocidad
Create a
mucho,
lot
¿eh?
of momentum.
A los péndulos
And
tipo
then
para que vaya pam,
I
pam,
think
pam,
we can
pam.
place our finish
Y
line.
sea
Yeah,
súper
let's
random.
go.
Y la
And
meta.
now I
Vale.
think that is
Me
our
gusta, lo que
round.
veo.
And look at
O
that.
sea, hay
It
detalles
looks
que no
like
me
a
molan
very
mucho.
simple, straightforward
Como por
round.
ejemplo,
We did this in a
estas
really short
cosas.
period of time, but
Yeah.
you
O
already
sea,
have
que
something
no
you
puedas
can
ponerla
play and
sola,
test
lo
out.
que
So now that we're
sea. Que
done,
tengas que
we
ponerla
now
con un
need
suelo
to go
redondo.
through
Eso
and
pues chido,
publish
pero
this.
bueno.
So what you want to do
Y
when
bueno, que
you're
es muy
ready and you're
limitado,
done
la
with the
verdad.
round, you're going to press the
Vale, te
start
lo
button
enseñamos.
or the button
A
appropriate to the
guardarlo.
controller. Firstly, I recommend saving. That
Dale a
will just
guardar.
automatically save the round and also generic settings so that you can adjust that later. It just makes sure you don't lose
Ha
any
puesto que
progress
sea de
while you're
20
building
personas.
things. And we're going to hit the publish flow.
Y la
let's
publica
go.
y ya
Let's go.
está.
Gives a little intro camera.
Hay una introducción
of the level as
panorámica.
well.
Something
Eso lo
that
hace
you obviously
automático,
probably
supongo.
recognized from our previous rounds, so we wanted to make
Eso
sure
está
that
bueno,
you've got your own
automático
little
medio
intro
mal, ¿eh?
camera.
Por eso lo
All right,
apuntado
so
a
let's see
meta.
if we can
Let's
play
go.
this. Now,
Ya ahora se lo va a pasar.
Yeah.
so you can see
Bueno,
we
se
can
puede
change
tirar para
over
adelante,
doors.
pero bueno.
It's, we set it to 2,
Se
right?
puede
So
tirar para
Yeah.
adelante y ya está, pero no va a ser.
I'm awful at this. Oh, I'm awful. Come on, there we go. I'm going to take the risky
You're
route.
going to the path of
A
least
ver, la has
resistance
creado.
here.
Ahora es rápido, porque
Something
no
to
es más
take
que
in mind when
sea
you're
normal.
building these out is that
No hace falta código de
depending on
creador
the amount of
con
players you're
Lidl.
building for,
Te
you
pinta
want
que
to
no.
make sure there's space.
Bueno,
Place
no,
to get
porque no
through.
lo han
So
dicho
whilst
así
it
que
may
no.
seem fairly easy
Ahora,
on
en el
your
gasto,
own, it's probably
Ah,
going to
no
be a
son
bit
tan
harder when
cortos
you're
los mapas,
yeah.
¿sabes? Y cuanto
You
más
are
pequeños
doing
pongan los
great.
obstáculos,
No
más obstáculos
fails
podrás
yet.
poner, ¿no?
Alright, yeah.
Tipo, si esto
I
lo hago
don't
más
wanna jinx
pequeño, ocupa menos
You know,
código,
we
Yeah.
should
¿no?
have done. We should have
We
changed
should
the
have
pendulum.
Se
some
podrá
little
jugar.
delays.
Well, that's the
A ver,
thing.
sí,
You
es
can
un
change
nivel
the flavor
cortísimo,
to however you want it to.
Es que es lo que
and,
digo,
you
no
know.
va a ser todo
And I
perfecto.
should have jumped. Okay,
¿Por
I'll
qué
make
no
sure I
salté?
jumped this time.
Yeah, this time do not forget to jump.
Sometimes I'm
You
just bad at that.
got it.
Yeah, all right, we got got there. So now that we've done the test complete, and we can now choose to publish. So we can either cancel this if we want to make some changes, or you didn't like the round that you made.
Claro, te obligan a pasártelo antes de publicarte, antes de publicarlo. Es obvio, es como Mario Maker,
so just publish this, and that gives us our share code. Yeah. From there, you can hand that around to your friends, put it out into the online community, and get players in your rounds.
Yeah, I hope this little run-through gave you a good idea of what Creative can do. And yeah, it's all about build your round, play it, and share it with your friends and the community. We're super excited to see what you guys can come up with and what you're going to build. And yeah, we're looking forward to play what you're going to make.
We've been doing this for a long time, so we're super excited to see the things that you folks create.
No nos habéis dado mucha chance.
I think that's it from us, right?
Porque son pequeños los niveles que puedes crear, pero bueno, espero que eso lo aumente con el tiempo. A lo mejor lo dice.
Build, play, share. It's as easy as that. Remember, Creative will be launching with original and digital themes, and you'll be able to create your own races on launch. But we'll also be adding more round types, themes, obstacles, and music in future updates. So, now you've heard all that, I think you're probably ready to jump in and start building. And we've got a few tips to help give you. Firstly, make sure you're a member of the Fall Guys Discord server, where you'll be able to share your creations using your round share code. Next, if you're looking for some pointers or inspiration, then keep an eye out for our brand new YouTube series. Finally, the Mediatonic team will be roaming through their favorite creations to add to specially constructed creator round playlists, and they will be in the live shows tab. Now, who's your favorite Fall Guys character? Are you a fan of the mysterious Silent, the ever-optimistic Pink, or maybe it's the mechanically minded Clovis?
No sé qué habla.
I'm rather partial to Banana. Those eyebrows. Well, we're lucky enough to be joined by senior writer Murray Lewis, who's going to take us on a deep dive into the world of Fall Guys.
What the fuck?
Hello, Murray, and welcome to the library. We are surrounded by, if you have an eagle eye, you'll notice some of the characters here who do actually have quite a part to play in the story. So as I'm introducing you to this library, why don't you tell us how you've introduced a narrative to Fall Guys and what that's been like?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun, you know, finding ways to introduce new characters, new stories to that world. It's very vibrant. It's very fun just to play around in, really. You know, having all these beans to tell stories with.
That's the sentence you ever expected you'd be saying, right? And the sky's the limit when you've got like such a insanely like open concept universe. Right? But there are some main characters. So why don't you tell us about who they are?
Yeah, so going all the way back to the beginning, the original launch of Fall Guys, we've always had Pink, every bean, and also introduced it slightly later, but has been around again for a long time, is Clovis, who is Pink's best friend, and they are an engineer. And then we started to introduce more narrative-focused characters like Silent, who is a showrunner. They do their best to just create the best shows that they possibly can. But they also have this fascination with the world of Fall Guys and trying to find out a bit more about the history of the world that they're in, and then they're helped by Banana, who's their assistant showrunner. And then more recently, we've started to introduce characters like Hypebean, who you would have seen in the trailer for Free For All. They're kind of a celebrity in the world of Fall Guys in the Blunderdome. And then we've also got Stash and Sally, who you would have seen at the end of that trailer, and also we brought them into the following season. Kind of a duo of researchers that work with Silent.
Quite a big cast so far. I mean, is that going to continue to expand, or are you done?
No, absolutely. We've got lots of upcoming new characters. You would have seen King Poseidon in this season. Recently emerged. And moving forward to the next season, I can now reveal a new character called Digi that we're going to be introducing, who is also an engineer like Clovis. At the moment, she's currently missing. So we're hoping to look into, you know, what happened to Digi, where
Okay, all right. Well, for the uninitiated, why don't you give us a recap of the main Fall Guys story so far?
I mean, if we take it back to when we first introduced Silent, it's a few seasons ago, we would have seen them initially putting together the plans to launch the satellite, which became the satellite of of the free-for-all season. But they had a bit of an ulterior motive. So they weren't just doing it to broadcast the show across the universe.
Oh.
They also have this mysterious belt they've been holding on to. They don't know exactly where it came from, but they know it's not from the Blunderdome, and they've been trying to work out where it came from. And so they sent this satellite up in the hopes of finding out. But Stash and Sally, being Stash and Sally, kind of messed it all up. And it got to the point where Silent was like, you know what, I'm just going to go up there and do it myself. And they started looking for this signal, and they found a signal coming from the planet. But as they found it, something went wrong, and it got Silent stuck inside the machinery of the satellite, and Banana had to actually come to their rescue. Always there to help out.
Yes.
And pulling Silent out of that machinery kind of caused this energy burst that opened up one last big portal, and that became our way down to the source of this signal that Silent found.
Okay.
And that was the Lost City. When we got there, it seemed empty, but turned out that the beans, led by Poseidon, were just hiding, just, you know, waiting in the shadows, being like, do we trust these beans? We've never seen these beans before.
Scoping out the newcomers. Yeah, you gotta do it.
And then they've emerged now, and they're happy to make friends.
So we've got to this point now where Digi has been missing for a little while, and we've got a bit of a mystery to solve there. So where do we go from here?
It's a good thing you asked. We do actually have an event called Coin Quest. The players can hopefully jump in and find out.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much, Murray. And right now, we have a quick look at the teaser for Coin Quest. Check it out.
Algún evento nuevo, ¿no? Vamos a ver, vamos a ver. A ver. Vale, sí. Claro, esto es lo que hemos hecho, básicamente. O sea, el desafío que hemos hecho. Sí. Vale. Claro, justo hemos terminado hoy el desafío.
Don't forget to check out the Coin Quest and help Silent and the rest of the gang to prove their worth to Poseidon. Well, there you have it. Everything you need to know to get you ready for the big release on May the 10th. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Ciao, guapa.
Wait, I almost forgot. I promised earlier that we were going to look at what else is planned for the future. And I don't break my promises. So let's get into it. One little warning before we dive in, these features are very much still in development, which means they could change drastically before release, or never even see the light of day outside of the Mediatonic studio. So you've been warned. Now we've got that out of the way, let's head back over to Joe for some exclusive details.
No acaba, no acaba, no acaba.
Welcome back, Joe. We dragged you back in because we want to talk about some experimental features, and they aren't a guarantee. I need to reiterate, need to make it clear, not a guarantee, but still very exciting to think about. So, how does it feel to talk about these?
Yeah, it's certainly scary. We never really talked about features that were kind of early in development before, but I think it's really important that we take an opportunity to kind of show our players our ambitions for the game over the next years. We want to do more and more with these silly little jelly beans that we have. Like, we love them so much, and I just think there are so many great ways that we can take this game. And yeah, wanted to have an opportunity to kind of peel behind the curtain a little bit and show what it's like to develop things earlier on in development.
So which features are you most excited about?
Power-ups is a way to kind of inject kind of even crazier gameplay into Fall Guys in a way that we haven't really been able to find the space for yet. So kind of allowing Fall Guys to do weird and wonderful things and giving players the control over like when they happen is something that I think is really cool. And all of this can kind of be delivered through Creative as well. So you could maybe put power-ups in your own levels in certain places and things like that.
Of course, again, you know, we have to say that these might not happen, they might happen, but anything else you've conceived that might come to the game?
Yeah, I mean, there's other stuff that we've been playing around with over the past year that it's just fun to show demonstrations of, really. Tether mode is something we've been making, which is basically if you imagine co-op Fall Guys, but with giant bungee cords between you.
Okay, all right. How does that work? You start being tethered to each other?
Yeah, we've been playing it where you're tethered, and if you run kind of either side of a pillar, you both get pulled back. You can kind of pull the other person up if they fall off the map. map.
Dios mío,
We've had lots of fun testing that, and it feels very promising.
That's pretty fun. That could be troll or incredibly wholesome, depending on how you utilize it.
And that's kind of one of the ways we've been looking at co-op gameplay in the game, for example. Like, we know players love playing Fall Guys, maybe not in a competitive setting, and we think it'd be really fun to kind of look at what co-op might be, for example. Another thing that we've been doing, for example, is the roll feature, which was adding new movements to Fall Guy in a way that's like even more adventurous than Dive Slide. So what would it feel like if you could curl up into a ball and bounce your way around levels, bounce off User's hammers and things like that? So yeah, lots to do there, and just it's just fun to kind of show the kind of prototypey things that we've been doing in the studio, and just give people a sense of all the things that we want to do in the game.
Obviously, players can see just how far the game has come, and it's come a very long way since inception. But for you, that must be
yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing ride. I think one thing we always wanted, you know, before the game even came out, we talked about wanting players to make their own levels, and so finally to be at the point where Creative has nearly launched is really exciting. I think Fall Guys is in a special place where, you know, anybody can make a level. Like, you just have to throw a couple of obstacles and a start and a finish line. And hope that this could be the opportunity for people who've maybe never tried their hand at game design before. But yeah, more generally, it's been a real ride. We haven't got everything right. You know, we've made mistakes over the course of development. And I think we just wanted to take the opportunity to thank our players for sticking with us as we try and figure out the weird and wonderful world of Fall Guys. It's been a real journey, and yeah, excited to take the game from creative beyond into kind of weird and wonderful directions over the next few years.
Weird and wonderful, definitely the words I would use for it. Thank you so much, Joe, and thank you to all of you for watching at home. Remember, Creative does come out on May the 10th, so dive in and have fun. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Qué barbaridad, ¿eh? Mira, 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 mira. Esa es lo que ha dicho de crear con la... No ves, con la temática de digital, que van a ser la temática nueva. Del nuevo de esto. Qué guapo, ¿eh? Estos supongo que son los mapas que nos van a meter, ¿eh? Tengo 50 mapas nuevos. Increíble. Yo estoy motivadísimo, ¿eh? Qué locura, ¿eh? Ya ha acabado, ¿no? Thanks for watching. Gente, sinceramente, no sé cómo lo hace Fall Guys, que estamos decepcionadísimos y de repente me sacan esto y yo, sinceramente, es que me vuelvo a motivar, es que vuelvo a coger las ganas, vuelvo a todo. Y es que todo esto que acabamos de ver, bueno, lo que hemos visto al principio, el modo creativo, el tema de los saltos y eso, ya había escuchado, están muy lejos y están en desarrollo todavía y probablemente ni salga, o sea, son cosas experimentales, como han dicho, pero el modo creativo y la nueva temporada la tenemos a 8 días. O sea, en 8 días, el 10 de mayo, la tenemos. Casi que el 10 de mayo vamos a estar aquí, en Twitch, todos los que lo estoy viendo en YouTube, estaremos en Twitch, en directo, seguramente haga un 8 horas o un 6 horas, no sé, pero estaremos ahí mucho rato. Y nada, o sea, increíble. Os dejo este vídeo sin evitar ver la reacción para subirlo rápido y espero que haya gustado. Nos vemos en el siguiente y vamos, que Fall Guys lo va a volver a romper.